may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
YB, I just want to take the time out to let you know how good of a friend you are. Such an inspiration to us in our community, and just keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing such a great job.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Ike from G Status ATL Hustle. I just want to take a minute and shine a light on my boy YB. Truly the gift that keeps on giving. Always pleasant to me during my time in reality. Truly the LeBron James of mass media. The reporting and reviewing is always above the tier. Always intellectual, always fair, balanced, and most of all, funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for reading me when I need to be read. But most of all, reading others when they had it wrong about your boy. We truly don't deserve you. I wish you the best in all you continue to do. Hoping that you go higher, deeper, farther than you've ever been in all of your goals and all of your aspirations. Hello, God, honey. Okay? I know that's right. It's your boy Ike. I'm out.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Yes, Gawd Roundtable, Season 3, Episode 6. Yes, honey.
It's already 6?
Yeah, Episode 6.
Gosh, man.
We're pushing through, honey.
Damn, 4 more episodes to go.
Yes.
I'm already fat.
Season 4 is going to be everything, honey, so.
Oh, yes.
Season 4. Get ready. That'll be coming out January, February of next year sometime. So
it's Just Gawd Roundtable a year. It's an annual premiere.
I try to do 2 seasons a year.
Yeah.
I try. This one just lasted longer because of that 3-month break.
You had to make it up.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Right. If it wasn't for the 3-month break, hey Kat, how you doing?
Hey, is it still lagging?
Honey, you're everything.
Perfect.
Oh, okay.
Yes, God, honey.
Okay.
Action, the girls are there. Just an announcement real quick. Carl and Tramel will more likely be joining us. Y'all know they've had an active, busy, successful, booked weekend. Hello, God.
No, the both of them is just a jumping on and off their man's sticks. Get up in here, Tramel and Carl.
I thought they were performing this weekend. They've been busting those pussies wide open on the stage, honey. Hello, God.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Come through.
Yeah, they posted some little clips on Instagram, so y'all make sure to follow.
I saw that. They were working that stage. I think they did a song together, too.
They had a festival, honey.
Although I have to ask Tramel, him, child, you didn't even need that green thing that you was wearing, honey. You didn't even need that. It was hot. It's hot as fuck. You knew you were gonna take it off anyway.
Yeah, but I think it was a part of the look. You know, it was a part of the look. She's got the look. She wanted the look.
Been at least shirtless and oiled down.
He said he ain't got the body just yet. You know, he kind of quarantined. You know, he got to work that off.
You got something. I've seen some pictures.
You wanted to oil down a Tramel?
Yeah, because it's hot.
But
you over here serving us Magic Mike, honey. You might as well go ahead and take off the clothes.
I feel like all the rest of the basic bitches performing are probably going to pull the oil thing. So it was kind of good. He stayed a little original. The games always want to sell sex, honey. Always want to sell raunchiness.
I'm just saying though.
I like Tramel clothes. I like clothes. You know, I get hoish at times, but I do like fashionable, sexy. Like I like when skin can pop out of the right places, but still giving fashionista times 12. Like I live on that.
Well, they looking better than me because I'm over here looking like Florida Evans from Good Times, bitch, and I'm over it, honey.
Leave it alone. But sure, it's popping off in
damn.
It's Labor Day weekend in ATL, so they got going on this weekend.
Yeah,
it's a lot going on.
It's Atlanta Pride, so it's a lot going on in Atlanta. Yeah.
Oh shit. There is a lot going on. Hold on, I need to do something, but
I need to figure out who's performing this Pride, because Atlanta usually busts out with the celebrities.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know whether they're going to have Megan Thee Stallion perform or Trina the Baddest Biatch. Kaya was a regular until T.S. Madison became Decepticon, and then her bag got clocked. So.
Okay, so just shouting them out real quick. Hope they're well and doing great things. Amen. Also, sorry, I'm looking for this clip for one of our topics. I forgot to have it already queued up, child.
Hey, So Def, what's going on? Jace. Hey, Arts and Crafts, what's going on? IMD La.
Yes, welcome everybody. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell, all that good shit. Y'all know what to do, honey. Everyone's information is in the link, and I made sure to do it that way for every episode up until the finale. Damn, what the fuck is this at?
Yes, Jace, all the girls. Do you know which one of those girls are going to be performing this weekend in Atlanta? It's too many Atlanta celebrities for them not to have a celebrity lineup. I mean, everybody literally is from ATL.
Yeah, I think the City Girls are there. Little Kim was there recently, right?
She was.
I think I saw the City Girls.
Oh, you saying all of them did? What? They had that's a whole ladies' night. They had the whole crew. That is sick. You know what's so funny? As LGBT friendly, allegedly, as Miss Minaj is supposed to be, has that heifer ever performed for any Pride? Because I don't recall her ever gracing the bars.
I don't think so.
LGBT event.
Hey, Carl.
Hey.
You look good.
Hey.
You look good.
I have a show tonight.
Okay.
So you had a show or you have a show?
He has a show.
Yeah, I got one. It's about 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can come in and do our show, do the panel first, then I come in and just get ready to do that later. So what we talking about?
Is your co-host coming through?
No, he out. He been drinking since 10 this morning. That motherfucker ain't coming nowhere.
Oh, wow.
He is out there.
God bless. Tramel, honey, feel better.
Yeah, he's out there yet. Not drunk as a skunk.
Did you get to see Trina and them? Because Jay said that all the girls of hip hop came through Atlanta and performed this weekend.
Yeah, everybody. I haven't been out anywhere. I only went to I had a show yesterday. I did that. And I came home, went to bed, and watched Clickbait until 1 this morning. And I went to sleep and went to work. I got off work, came. Now I'm did some errands. Now I'm here, and then after here, I had to get ready for the show, and then I'm going back home and find something else to watch on Netflix.
Yes.
Period. Are you nervous for the
I
night?
wasn't feeling the festivities this year.
Are you
Do you still get nervous?
What happened?
are you nervous for tonight? Like, do you get nervous before?
Oh no, I don't. You know, the stage that's like my first home.
First home.
You got a mic. All I need is a mic and a light, and I'm good.
Okay. Hey, Casey.
Oh, y'all wouldn't comment.
You tell me why he should have just been shirtless and oiled down, honey. Okay.
Well, you already know that Carl is gonna be swinging that pussy around, so I mean.
Oh yeah, Buddy Pussy will be being performed tonight.
Yes. Ooh, you know, a lot of girls are getting fucked tonight.
I know. Perfect song for the
Yes. Yes, honey.
Gonna be a movie.
Are you stalling because you don't have a clip still?
I'm pulling it up right now. I want y'all to disregard this because it's going to take me 1 second.
Beautiful women.
Okay. All right. We're here. We're queer. We're trying to be everywhere. Yeah. We're back. Okay.
Oh my God.
Now, before we begin the round table, I want to congratulate Lil Nas X on the coming of his child.
Bitch, no.
Hello, God.
Yes.
My little brother is pregnant, okay? And there's nothing these whores can do about it, okay?
Wait a minute.
She's giving birth. I know I said something last night, but
You definitely did.
I thought about it. I had to think about it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I had to think about it.
And she already got all of the fragile ass cis hetero men completely melting.
That's why I thought about it.
Like the Wicked Witch of the East.
That's why I thought about it, because it took me back to other conversations that we've had over the phone about, trolling. And I was like, this is the best troll in the fucking history of trolls, girl. Like, bitch, what? Like, that's how you do it. If you're going to do it, you might as well go all the fucking way.
I'm going to be honest. I do not care for Lil Nas X, but the more that straight people hate him, the more I have to like him. Because I just can't let you do that to one of the girls. But it's like, if y'all would just back up off him, I cannot like him. But since y'all want to hate him, I got to love him and support him. So it is what it is.
Absolutely.
Hello. Like, that's exactly how the pendulum swings.
Agree.
All right. Well, congratulations, niece. Okay. Even though I will say this, you should have definitely, put on some weight before you did that photo shoot because you look like a starving Ethiopian. Okay, I'm just saying, girl, you look hungry.
But in our society, they love little gays. So queen is a sex symbol in our.
But not too long ago, I wonder how old this photo shoot is now that I think about it, because he just did the video with Jack Harlow. He was built as fuck. Even when he did the BET Awards, he was built as fuck. Where did all that go?
Sure, let me tell you something. Oil and good lighting can make you can fulfill your fantasy. Okay,
that's true. You're right.
You ask these girls on Instagram; they know the tricks.
Jace, I already know.
Me too, Jace. Low key, me too. I ain't even gonna lie, bitch. Me too. But I had to get in YB's ass because he was like, "No, hold on, girl. And then I was like, "No, wait. How you gonna just switch at? How you just gonna switch up like that?" But I think what's up.
I slept on it and I thought about it. When I heard the shit that was coming out of Little Booty's mouth, I was like, girl, okay. Moving forward, and then we're going to touch on this briefly because we have a cute little lineup tonight of topics that we're going to get into. But I briefly wanted to talk about the last episode of the Yes God Roundtable, where we dug, we scrubbed, we dragged, we tagged, we ran over, bitch. We crashed. These were the only people left on the plane. They crashed, girl, into Thomas the Train. Hello, God. All of the things that every read that you can think of that I'm trying to think of right now to give these whores, that's what it is. So, Flame and Roe commented on the Yes God Roundtable's previous episode. And she deleted it, but
this is mad.
My screenshot game is very strong, bitch.
This is
I
mad.
want to read you what this bitch said. So Flamin' Road posted in the comments, such a bunch of shallow nothings. But I hope y'all find yourselves. Oh yeah, success in my best Tiffany Haddish voice. I then replied, but it's not here because she deleted it. I basically said along the lines of, "Girl, please. I wonder if we were speaking your praises, would you have even commented or showed this video any kind of attention?" You know, it goes to that community unity type shit. We only support each other when there's some negative shit going on, but as the LGBT, we can't support each other when it's positivity.
Right, because
show your head.
The roundtable been going on. I ain't seen that girl comment on nothing.
Hello.
Her name is mentioned and stuff that she didn't like. Here she comes.
Exactly.
It really works my nerve. But I just told her along the lines of like, you know, I told her that, and I was like, also, can you look at it? I understand the shade and everything that was thrown at you, so you're just trying to defend yourself. I get it. This is entertainment, and that's what the fuck I'm always gonna serve. I'm not no boring ass, low vibrating ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? I like to get the girls going. So even though there was shade, I get it. But can you see the overall perspective of where we were coming from? You're sitting down with a bunch of problematic ass people, and you have problematic ass perspectives too that are not really conducive to the progression of the LGBT movement.
Right.
Can you at least see it? That's where our anger is stemmed from. And then right after that, and I offered her, hey, we would love to have you on to speak about this further, but I understand if you don't want to.
Yeah,
I checked today.
Low level,
it's all been deleted. So she deleted the comment. So thoughts?
We must have struck a nerve.
But I think it goes back to what you said earlier about, like I said, when we was talking about like last time about support in the LGBT community, you don't support nothing else. But as soon as something negative comes, here you come. And it's like, it's not like we were being negative. It's kind of like the fact that you have the platform. We all have platforms, but your platform is on a larger scale than ours. So you had the floor to kind of speak for a whole community, and you dropped the ball. You just did. And that's not no shade. It would have been her or have been another, low level nothing, as she likes to call them. It wouldn't matter who did it. It just happened to been you. But yeah, what you decided to say and how you decided to, I guess bridge the gap is what you were, I guess, trying to do. It just didn't come out right. And I feel like, no, she don't speak for us. She was too busy like trying to make sure she didn't offend y'all after y'all been offending us all fucking year, and you walking on eggshells for them. Don't walk on eggshells. Take the time for that now. You stand on your beliefs. You stand on who you are, and they know that you're, you do drag, or is she trans? I don't really know. She go, her pronouns are all over the place, so I don't know.
Yeah.
She, like, what does she go by, or he go by, or whatever. Him, they,
Mr. Potato Head.
They're all over the place. And on that particular Breakfast Club interview, you were all over the place, and that's what it was. And I felt like you were trying to like make sure you were politically correct. And when it comes to Black Lives Matter movement, people aren't politically correct. So when it comes to LGBT issues, you shouldn't have been either. You should have gotten their ad. And if you didn't feel like you did, you should have got one of these low-level nothings to come over here, and I'd have done it for you. And that's just it. That's all I have to say about Homegirl.
Hey, man.
So if you want to come back, now comment on this one. If you was a bad bitch, you get your ass on this damn show and speak your damn piece. Because I can say it to your face, girl, that you're so mad.
Because, and the reason I took that approach was, me and Kat are always having conversations about the meaning of the Yes God Roundtable is to bridge gaps and to be more progressive in thinking, to invite people who may have a whole weird ass perspective that doesn't even agree with us. That's how we really build the bridges of unity.
Absolutely.
So I was like, you know what? Let me come at the places. You know what, bitch? Come on. Let's see what you got, girl. You'll support the Breakfast Club. Come on and support the Yes God Roundtable. Speak your truth, and let's get into it. And the reason I spoke to her with that level of high vibrating intelligence is because I want her to know that my particular reads, bitch, that's just entertainment, girl. But when we push this shit aside, I'm a highly intelligent, communicative bitch. So let's get into it. Let's invite. Come on, girl. Or
Me personally, I don't think we should explain anything to this bitch, because the content of her comments was exactly why we said what we said. Yeah. You are not to be trusted or, held responsible with the mantle of representing this community. Look at how you speak to us when you don't agree. Ooh, girl, fuck you.
And then furthermore, if I can remember correctly, what did we say that was that bad that geared
the truth?
Anyway, we
said the truth.
We could have with.
We said the truth, and it struck a nerve.
I was a little cunty
on the issue. It just didn't come out right. That's all. That was it. It just didn't come out right. And no, she does not speak to the entire community because we would have checked you. Period. Right. You've been going. You've been getting all this time. You're not just gonna get to come on here and just be like, oh yeah, let me say my piece again. Because he was everything that Boosie had said that day, he said right then and there. Right there. Why didn't you defend it anything? You just I think they're trying to say, what I think you're trying to say. What are you doing?
No, he's saying what he's trying to say.
He's saying what he's trying to say. You ain't saying nothing.
No, ma'am.
You're on the TV show, girl, I get it. You know, sometimes the price of fame costs you your soul every now and then. I get it. So you worry about that and let the ones that want to come in there and speak for us, let them do it. It just wasn't you. Like they say, rappers don't speak to the black community. And every person that you can give with, this LGBT doesn't speak for the entire LGBT community just because they're in the limelight. We have a Lil Nas X.
And my thing is,
our spokesperson.
If you're gonna represent us,
that's not what that means.
If you're gonna represent us, at least face us when we want to talk to you about what the fuck you said. You represent us. You need to hear us out.
That's it.
And a bad bitch don't delete comments.
If I said it, I said it.
If I said it, and that's on period.
If it's deleted, bitch, you deleted it.
And yes, YB, we may have been a little cunty, but we're gay. Yeah. Cunty is in our nature, which is gonna be cunts because we're gay.
I just think most masculine. Well, I did go there. I did. He cut with it. That's just what it's gonna be. That's we gay. That's what's gonna happen.
That's what we do.
I mean, I did bring up Mr. Potato Head, melt-faced ass bitch. I did talk about him going to visit with his son when he went to TSU and how he was looking.
But obviously, she was struck by something we all said. She said low-level nothings with an S.
With an S.
She was fucked up. We all said something that fucked her up. And that's fine, mama. Heal that. Don't get mad. Heal that.
I'm laughing at Conscious because I can read your mind, babe.
No, he waiting for us to finish so he can unload the bomb of truth and justice on that ass.
Gang, 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 king. Okay, get up together, child.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't have too much to say to Flame. This is in typical Flame and Rose fashion. Okay, Miss High and Mighty Tiffany Haddish checked. Cashing above the fray is down here frolicking with the little old YouTubers. Okay, how mighty are the Mighty Falls from the Breakfast Club?
Hold on 1 second. Do that. Remember last episode? Try to do that again with the speaker.
Is my speaker still fucking up? How about now?
It's a little low.
How about now? Is it here? Are we there?
It's good on my end.
You can hear
me. Let me see if it's my computer, child. My volume is messing up.
Okay,
go ahead. Go ahead. You're good.
Are you sure? Because I don't want to sound like
that's good. That sounds so good.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, good. So, well, first of all,
hold on. You just stepped down.
Am I here? Am I here?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, don't put nothing on top of it.
That's that bitch sitting at home with that botched titty casting bitchcraft on me right now. Okay, she's trying to appeal to the spirits, honey. Okay, but I'm pushing through, Miss Monroe. Okay, I found the comment to be very, but just to dial back a little bit. Okay, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. When she did the interview, she literally said, I know I'm going to piss them off, and I don't care. They know I don't care. So don't care. Like,
yeah,
don't care about what our thoughts and opinions are, girl. You knew you was going to say coonery, tap dancery, bussy energy like things, and tap dance hardcore for these people. Now, my personal opinion, Miss Monroe, is I think you're just really mad because you're built like used tricycle parts, okay? You want no jump You have more junk. Okay.
Oh my God.
Wait. Oh, girl.
Okay.
Girl. Oh, she is serving, putting a spell on you, putting a curse on your motherfucking ass tonight, honey.
Okay.
Flame has more junk. Flame has more junk stuck in her than Sanford and Son. I just want her to be over it, Miss Ma'am. Just get over it. Okay? Because, like my fellow panelist said, okay, the elderly thing to do, and you are old enough and gray enough and salt and pepper enough to be considered an elder in the community, okay, to have invited yourself into the dialogue so you could have schooled the youngins, okay? Because, you know, here, as YB said, we were chicks, but we're in the dialogue too. Don't get it twisted, Miss Ma'am. We're interested in.
You know what makes this funny? You know what that joke is funny for me? That the tricycle joke is, bitch, you that old because don't nobody even know about tricycles right now. They don't sell no damn tricycles right now. That's what makes that fucking hilarious for me. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's it. Miss Flame. You need to stop being bitter, honey. And you need to, you know what? You know that found so funny. She got all this time for a homophobic, transphobic ass little Boosie, but will shade and reject her own community and reject opportunity to actually have dialogue. You can actually find it in yourself to sit before a man who would have you castrated, you big penis bitch, rather than sit your ass here and actually say, you know what? You just drop the link. Drop the link the next time that y'all on. So we can do this because we don't have no problem with that. So her being so defensive when it comes to her own community, but can tolerate every severe, explicit homophobe and transphobe just goes to show the self-hate that Miss Flame suffers from. And so I don't have anything to say to her. Her antics are to be expected. Okay, he showed up in the comment section, and now your ass got dragged around too, bitch. And you can comment all over again, and we can start our intros like this with you until the season ends, bitch. You just decide what it is.
And this ain't a scary group of people. Now, if you really want to do it, don't comment. Come on the show next Sunday.
Please,
we can all sit here and talk about it.
And please know that we're not here to bully you. This is not a bullying session, but we're not going to back down on our opinions either.
That's what it is.
And you know, if you check out the interview styles, I believe we've all had talking to problematic ass people that we don't see it for, but we can have enough respect and coof to get through a conversation. But I would only want you to come if you are willing to bridge a gap, to make some type of sense, and to also understand where we're coming from and our perspectives. That shit at the Breakfast Club, that's not what this is over here. You have a big platform and you have the means to reach these people. Maybe you can learn something from us and take it back. And next time you have this conversation again, you'll know how to, go around it with a little bit more, education.
Yeah,
that you
please don't come to argue. Please don't come to argue because we don't want to argue.
And to end it on that point, just real quick, the comment I made, and we talk about the elderly and the fact that she's older, right? Yes, we joke about it, but the truth behind that is there's a difference in experiences. Your time moved very slow. You guys were very unprogressive. We are very progressive. Things are moving forward as they should in time. We're not waiting 20 years for rights, bitch. We want them now. We getting them now. You know what I'm saying? So, and no disrespect to that time period, because y'all girls definitely paved the way for us to be the girls that we are today. And we appreciate that. but you also have to appreciate what's going on in our time right now. We need you to stand with us as you want us to stand with y'all.
Flame is a little bit older, so maybe they paved the cobblestones. But she definitely, you know, was around to lead the herd.
As Jesus, in the time of Jesus, when he was leading the sheep, girl.
I felt like I was really nice to this bitch. I felt like I gave credence and roses to this hoe, okay? To this big 14 in the foot ass bitch. I was fair to you, girl. I said that what you said was one half of the truth. What more do you want? What more did you want? I said your plight spoke to individual.
But maybe she's not even mad at us for what we said about her. Maybe she's defending Boosie.
Well, no, what I'm saying though is that could be a case. I think she's defending the entire thing, but going back to my original argument, you're only focusing on that. If you were really a thinker, a critical thinker, you would have looked at the encompassing conversation that was taking place.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're wrapped up in your feelings, and again, I get it. Things were said about you that were not of, goodness. I get it. But if you're 56 years old, you're supposed to have wisdom and knowledge and all this experience. Yeah. Y'all old girls always talk about, the young girls need to learn something. The kind of comment that you put was so petty. That's the kind of comment I would expect from a 17-year-old gay. Hello. That's very young gay shit. So that lets me know, too, that you're not ready for the meaningful conversations.
No, it sounded a little old. It did sound a little aged. A bunch of nothings. Who says that?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Oh, no. It's a bunch of shallow nothings.
See, that sounds a little grandfathered. Like back in my day.
It's also someone that has low-key accepted the fact that they look like a Decepticon. But it's okay. Moving on, because I don't want to give no more life to ashes, dust to dust ass bitches. But that's our response to you, he, she, we. Okay? Bye, girl. Tricycle parts. Yes, girl. Moving on, in other news, Trick Daddy states with confidence, honey, that he likes to get that booty hole ate the fuck out, bitch. Side to side.
Booty hole word.
In the words of Miss Trina, front, back, side to side. That's how you do the slip and slide. Okay, honey, Trick Daddy said it, and Trick Daddy, let me tell you something. That lupus face looking bitch, he knows how to keep himself in the fucking news, honey. The media, girl, when he said about Beyonce, he sunk the girls up and down, honey. Now, bitch, he is letting the boys know, honey, that they're not alone in wanting to get their salad tossed. Girl, I just wonder what kind of dressing it is, because he's from Miami, and Miami niggas love everything with some type of sauce.
Yeah. His restaurant got graded a D. So we know what that sauce is giving, honey.
The Beehive did that.
I was gonna say because because his restaurant is where I dwell. I have not personally eaten there, but everyone that I know that has given it nothing but great reviews. He has lines across the street. Sometimes
he does have good. No, the Beehive purposely went in there and destroyed his race.
Oh yeah, they did.
That's what I'm talking about, Beehive, girl. Sir,
there was a big sting. Hey, Abby, how you doing?
You are likely to get shot to death fatally at Trick Daddy's restaurant. Everything that happened from goddamn gang banging to goddamn the first 48 girl to their car accidents and flew through the dining area. Girl, stay the hell away. Stay the hell away from Trick and Biscuits, okay? Let her.
Okay.
He also has
according to the internet though, they said that he may have said he liked to eat his booty eating. He was talking about, his prime trick daddy. Today's trick daddy, they say nobody eating that ass today.
Cause you damn right ain't nobody eating that ass today with him looking like a burnt ass brown.
Now Thug back at Thug Holiday Trick. I might have gone down there with Thug Holiday Trick.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I will stand for the restaurant virtually.
The thing I have to say about this is it talks to a greater conversation that has to do with, men that like extra things in the bedroom. And I honestly don't. The question really is if a man likes to get his ass licked, does that make him gay? No. My personal opinion is no. I do not believe if a man likes his ass.
Armin, let me ask you, are you a cis hetero man? I have a question.
Who?
I got a question for you. It's a controversial question.
Okay.
We're speaking about straight men and getting their salads tossed. Because Trick Daddy, the rapper Trick Daddy, he recently said he liked to throw his legs up to the high heavens and point them to God.
That's not what he said.
So I want to know for you, as a cis hetero man, do you think that it is homosexual if a man likes to get his ass ate by a woman? What? How you been around me for this long and you ain't progressive enough?
It is.
And hold on to his sexuality. You think it's gay, really? Why is it gay?
It's your girl eating your hole, nigga. It ain't.
It's heterosexual sex.
Thank you for your feedback.
What's the problem?
Well,
okay.
This straight man said hell yes because he don't want to around his ass. So if a man wants anything around his ass, because women battle this question too. If my man want me to put a finger in his ass or eat his booty or rub around and tangle things, do I need to call Marquise Rivers and to download Detective and find out what is given?
Wants it done by another man. I have a straight male friend, and he's like I said, he ain't trying to fuck me, so I know he's straight. And all he wants is he loves getting his booty ate by women, and it's just he don't want a guy in no way, shape, or form. But he loves doing all that freaky shit, even like fucking girls anally. It's just all women though. That's to me.
A lot of women tell me that they men want to try the anal.
Yeah. If it's with a woman, how is it gay? That makes no. He should be able to. A man should be able, whether he's gay, straight, blue, or yellow, should be able to explore his sexuality and be whatever the hell he identifies with. It should be a problem. I know guys that like to be penetrated with dildos by their woman.
Whoa!
But
there's nothing wrong.
It's called pegging. It's called pegging.
We as men, as gay men, y'all know
really
we get sexual pleasure from our assholes. We do. That's the thing. And it didn't just turn on and activate because we were gay. Every man has that same G spot in their ass, whether they gay, straight, blue, or yellow. So some of those straight men has activated their inner freak, and they like that shit. And I say, live you, boo boo. You mean, hey, you gotta do it. You may not want me to do it. You may not want me to do it, and that's fine.
You see, the problem is that we limit ourselves.
Yeah, pegging, Jeff. That's what it's called. I forgot the name of it.
We limit ourselves, and we wonder why we're walking around here with all this stress. Okay,
and why you keep getting
if you are in the confines of your own home and your relationship with your woman, there should be no limits to the types of different pleasures that you should be trying to experience.
Absolutely.
Even if you try it and don't like it, I understand. But I feel like you should at least try everything once.
That's what they're scared of. They're going to get that tongue in the booty and they're going to like it.
I don't think it's because...
What conscious say? To the high heavens? That's what them legs going to be at.
Because I feel like, to your point, Carl, about the male G-spot, the prostate is a natural, it naturally secretes when it's been given pleasure. And the more pleasure you get to it, honey, that's where the cream comes from. The boys and the porn and
girls that we need to have a conversation on that too, because these girls, oh my god,
they're
I'm trying to tell everybody where that comes from.
So what's interesting to me about it is like it's easy how we will be quick to feminize or to homosexualize the man for getting his ass ate, but the woman doing it gets to remain heterosexual. So it always seems to me that it comes down to the way that we socialize men versus the way that we socialize women. For some reason,
that's the same thing with gay men and gay women.
We are
lesbianism is fine,
but we're indoctrinated and trained to see men and their emotional and sexual orientation in such a narrow way that when you deviate from that, it must be because you're gay or you're queer, etc. But here's my thing about it. I don't think we should, we shouldn't assign orientations to sexual acts, because what we're really talking about are simply sexual acts. Like, your ass ate is a sexual act. A woman liking it in the ass, does that make her homosexual because she likes, we can see how ridiculous it starts to sound.
You know what, I think we need to go a little bit deeper. I think that we only do that when it comes to black men and women. If a white man is getting his ass ate by a white woman, we just gonna say they freaky as fuck, bitch. They got that freaky shit. We never gonna even think, that way. But when it's black men and women, it's like, oh, you doing anything that we do, girl, you one of us. We quick to do that. I've even heard some men argue that all men are gay in some aspect.
I find it funny too, because we see that there's a large progressive movement, especially as it pertains to pornography, where I'm seeing a lot of female cis hetero women eating booty hole like groceries and not doing a very good job, might I add.
No, not at all.
They have to.
No, there is one girl named Ashley. She's out of Russia. She's a big girl, and she like to put the dildo in the nigga's ass, stretch it open, put her fingers in, take her fingers out, suck on it, deep throw her fingers, put it back in, get the tongue fucking that asshole real good, pull it back out, take all the slob and spit out of it, spit it in his mouth. She carries on. She be carrying on with the
I have an explanation for that, actually. She's from Russia, so, they're going through a famine right now. Mama is hungry, child. Mama is hungry. She is hungry. They are not giving nobody no more stamps, child. It's hard for the girls to live, so they got to do what they got to do.
What's going to come in? Is that what it's going to come down to when there's a shortage of the food supply?
Hey, what happened last year? Everybody started doing OnlyFans because their jobs were threatened.
Yeah.
It was on the. I ain't gonna lie, say one on the table for me too. I created a whole account.
In the words of Diamond from the Players Club, or Ronnie, depending on who you like, honey, okay? Use what you got to get what you want, boo-boo.
Oh, that's what did.
But just don't end up like Ebony getting your ass beat the hell up in a hotel by a telephone, girl. Hello, God.
I got her ass beat too.
I just came to dance for y'all. That's it.
That's it.
Oh, tonight I'm gonna dance.
I think people should just try and enjoy. It's sex. Like, if you, my whole thing is I be on my in vogue shit when it comes to sex. Just free your mind. Like, if you can't be uninhibited and lose your inhibition and have sex like you on cocaine, what you having sex for? You gotta have sex like you on cocaine. Like, sex is supposed to be where you forget. Okay, you forget about the social constructs in the world. This is where you indulge in pleasure. Now you can reduce. As a man getting your ass eat by a woman to just simply feels good. It just feels good. And sex is all about what feels good to your body, what your body gyrates.
You know what though? I think one of the main problems is with men is they're always insecure anyways. Is the dick big enough? Am I gonna last long? There's a lot of thoughts and anxiety that go through men's head before they have sex anyway. So imagine men always being told that anything in the ass is gay. So I've actually heard some unkept men, hello God, shout out to
the
bitch. Shout out to Lionel from Lovers and Friends, girl. Anyway, that they're scared to even
where's my sign? Yeah.
To even wipe or to even bathe themselves back there because it's gay. That's the most stupidest nastiest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
The fucking foster grand bitches would tell a nigga, wash that ass.
Well, that's why straight men always have skid marks and shit in their drawers, because they ain't hardly wiping or hardly washing back there.
Right.
You like, I know black men who are literally so like they endure such a toxic form of masculinity that they think that it's feminine to wear thong sandals. They would never put. They think wearing their feet out and thongs is gay. Like, this is how
I've heard that before too.
This is how deep it is. That shit is deep.
It's uncomfortable for me though. It starts to hurt the inside, like between the toe and the other toe. I mean, the big toe and the other toe.
But it's one thing it's uncomfortable. It's another thing to have an idea attached to that shit.
I don't care. My feet look like this. If I'm on vacation in Cancun somewhere, bitch, these toes are out, ass out, everything.
Yes, God.
Hello.
I came out. My friend took us. We got to put some clothes on. There's kids out here. Fuck them kids, bitch. I'm on vacation. They brought the clothes down here, bitch. The sun is gonna beam down on my ass, bitch.
Well, I wonder too. Is it the children when all them bitches, excuse me, Lord, all of those women are bare ass out with the diamond thong on? Hey.
Like, why is it a double standard? I had on the same thing that the women had on. They had on the thong, that thong bikini, so did I. They checked
so it shouldn't be a problem.
Look better. I mean, what the fuck? You
treating a nigga like Respucia. Where are your bottoms?
Right, I was so bad go down the slide. That's just it.
Where are your bottoms, ma'am?
I got on bottoms, bitch.
Okay.
See?
I really just think people need to be secure in themselves. I also feel like men should not be demeaned or talked down upon or thought less of because they like to experiment and do things that are going to bring them pleasure. Pleasure can be a selfish act, but it can also be selfish amongst two people that are enjoying themselves. The same way y'all girls want y'all asshole ate, y'all want y'all pussies licked, y'all want to be digged down, all of those things. If a man wants those things, I'm not going to say we're friends anymore, but I had a straight friend who used to like his girl right before he would orgasm to put her finger in his butt. I don't think that's gay at all.
And you get a real hardcore, healthy, like high credit score orgasm when there's a finger up your ass.
High credit score.
As you're doing that. High credit score orgasm.
But I think the lesson, the common thread of the lesson to be learned here is keep your business your business. We shouldn't even know that as a straight man you like getting your ass ate. That's between you and the person that's eating your ass. You don't have to scream into the mountaintops to put yourself on a pedestal to be judged. Like, certain things are for certain, arenas and for certain conversations. And unless you are in a trusted conversation with your friends, or unless you want to be judged, keep your business your business.
I like what Nadia said. She said if a straight man puts that much thought into sandals and washing their ass and associating the two with being gay, they have other issues. She always sides-eyed men who put that much thought into it. Hell yeah. If your thought, like when we talk about Boosie and the Lil Nas X situation, hate to always, all roads lead back to that homophobic trash, right? Mm-hmm. I do feel like, why are you thinking of these things? You know what I'm saying? Like, that should never be the thing that goes into your head. If you're that insecure, either seek help or find someone to help you come out the closet. Like, seriously, get it together, girl.
No man that's confident in his heterosexuality is worried about Lil Nas X right now.
Not at all.
The Peter Thomases of the world, the Lil Boosies of the world are the ones that's going up in arms. And we've been suspecting y'all were gay for years. So, girl,
because of Peter Thomas's financial situation, he might become gay for pay. Hello, God.
My thing is that if you're not into it, like, I know I'm gonna probably piss some people off, but I'm not the biggest fan of Boosie or like people like Nicki Minaj. I don't really like them. I couldn't tell you the last album track Nicki came out with. I couldn't tell you what the video looked like because if I don't like it, I just don't watch it. So it's just
had no budget
people
for
are talking
video.
about. I'm looking like I don't even know what you're talking about. So I'm trying to figure out how does he know so much about Lil Nas X because he knows more about
you watching it
than I do. And I'm like, child, I like Lil Nas X. But I know more about him from you than anybody else. That's how I know everything you're doing. Through you.
And to the people who have the kid argument, the fact that you've already allowed your child to watch adult content lets me know that you're okay with showing them adult content.
You suck as a
If you want to protect their eyes and have that little crazy motherfucker watch some Cartoon Network and get his life on Teen Titans. But if he is able to watch the BET Awards, you are okaying him to watch what adults watch. So why should we have to go to ourselves?
Can I say something to Kat's point? Because it's so funny that you say that, Kat, because I was just watching Usher and Chris Brown's single for Party. I was watching the music video. Dun, 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 you know how to party. And it's like a whole little dance thing. And they had like a lot of kid dancers in there. And when Gucci Mane's verse came on and he was like talking about fucking and all this, like, the kid dancers was like surrounding him, like to the music, jumping. And I'm like, where's the outrage? Where's the outrage for the over-sexualization of young people? Where is the outrage?
Because it's not about sexualization. He was straight, so it was okay.
That's my point. That's my point. It's the hypocrisy for me.
Yeah, that's all it is.
I mean, let's just keep it real. If it's gay shit, that's when everybody wants to get their pitchforks out and their fucking, all that shit. The children. Child, y'all don't give a fuck about the kids. Y'all just care that we're opening y'all up to new things.
This same fucking country had teenage, underage boys by the name of B2K at the top of the charts with Bump, Bump, Bump. But we concerned about the children. The children, though.
Did you see the picture of them bumping in the hotel room?
We got top singles from all American white girls who are 16, 17 at the time. Britney Spears talking about "Hit It, Baby, One More Time." What about the children? What?
Even Monica?
Children.
Monica was 15 on "Why I Love You So Much." Well, want to talk about making love, no doubt, baby, when the time is right.
I'm a G.
She's 15. She's 15.
Rub this pussy the right way. If you wanna be with me, I can make your dream come true.
That was an insinuation.
For sure. Very prostitute. Very prostitute.
What about the children?
Yeah.
What about the children? We were those children then.
Look how we turned out, bitch. That's swinging from fucking stripper poles and still has this.
Okay. Damn children and the children out here.
We gave birth to the OnlyFans community, so it is now they got a point now.
Those were children.
Yeah, they didn't care about
that. With the shit.
That's very true.
Fuck them kids.
Yeah.
Fuck them kids.
Okay. So yeah, power to Trick Daddy, power to people like Tank who celebrate and do the things that bring them pleasure. And again, I don't see nothing wrong with that. And I think that's the mutual consensus here. Moving on, I'm gonna play this video.
Let's get your health in order first before you got your legs up and want to get your motherfucking cakes eat out, bitch. Let's look presentable, bitch. The fuck? I told you if you came on my screen looking like Santa Claus again, I was gonna get in your motherfucking ass. Apparently, that's what you want. So let's slow that down, get your health in order, and then we can focus on getting your ass ate.
Period.
I just, when I think about it, I'm like, I watched Love and Hip Hop Miami the first and some of the second season. And I'm just thinking to myself, Joy, you are too pretty.
You didn't look like that at first, though.
To be eating. I'm talking about, like, if for some reason someone is eating.
That's what I'm saying.
That particular booty hole from
presentable. Because
like
you want bad bitches.
No. You think Joyce is pretty. Get her to slide that lace wig back just a little bit. And eat that trick. Eating Trick's ass. Snatched all her lining. All up around here, baby. Eat that ass. It blew all of that backwards, honey. So,
but you know what? I'm quite sure, on a serious note, I am quite sure that any man that desires and that likes to get their ass eaten, they're clean. I would hope that you are bathing, that you're probably, and I would like my man to douche. I'm not even gonna lie. I need to make sure that there's no leftover particles, girl. I need to, sometimes. Hello.
I gotta tell y'all a true story. I have a straight friend that had he liked women to eat his booty, and he was saying that a lot of them didn't want to do it. They said his booty tastes like shit. So I had to give him a douching crash course to show him how to douche his ass properly, because I had explained to him. I said, "Well, are you washing your ass properly?" He claimed he was, but I'm sure he was only going above the rim and shit. So I said, "Let me tell you, you need to get in there. If you want tongue, taint the ass. You need to get this douche bottle. Get in there."
The only goddamn girl, them type of girls are the girls who have a full 200 on their EBT balance. A full solid 200. Bitch. Period.
Not that it smell like shit though.
Think about it. If something comes out of there, you know what comes out of there. You smell yourself after you do a number 2. So if you desire, or even if you're interested, this is to all my current booty lovers and potential booty hole eaters. Make sure that you're clean. Make sure that person is clean. That wipes. Don't use toilet paper, because I'm not gonna put my tea out there. Girl.
Wipes.
Just know that wipes.
We
don't want a Charmin commercial.
They even have the man wipes. If you don't want to get baby wipes or like the feminine wipes, they have man wipes.
Get those. Please stop using tissue, bitch. That's those last year.
Hey, Amber. Yeah, please.
And you're bruising your booty hole. You're actually gonna make it bruise.
I'm saying booty hole.
Booty hole.
It's a booty hole.
I hate when he say booty hole. Like, it sounds so nasty.
But it's all good. So moving on, because we got some things to get through. I'm going to play this video clip, and I'm going to get everybody's thoughts, okay?
Okay.
Beautiful women, bad bitches are single today. It's simple. Feminism.
Hold on.
Why is it that even beautiful women, bad bitches are single today? It's simple. Feminism. Feminism taught you women that you a queen. You God's gift to this earth. You the prize. No, the fuck you ain't. No, you ain't. You ain't a queen. You ain't never gonna be my queen because you ain't my mother. You don't love me unconditionally. You love me under conditions. And the problem is that I'm a man. I'm a leader. I'm the toxic asshole guy. The tool, right? Because when we go out, right, you expect me to take care of you, right? When we go out, I pay for it. You good. We go to the store. Here, get some shoes. You good. I got you. But when I tell you to do something, do it. That's the problem. Don't expect me to chase you and beg you and get on my knees, bro. I'm not submissive. I'm dominant. And then what happens is, I don't want to be with that. He's toxic, he's bad. Your friends tell you he's a bad guy, right? Then you go be with the nice guy and you end up cheating on him or leaving him because he's weak. He don't make you feel nothing. He don't blow the back. That's the problem. You're the problem. You're delusional.
Wow.
So this particular topic I found interesting because it caters to the Kevin Samuels ideology. And it caters to this broken ass society of women and men, mostly men in my opinion. And there's also an inferiority complex. Like, you're not enough. Come to find out, this man is like 5'4", so I get it. That short man.
See, I was just gonna say, he giving me like I was teased in high school, tried to glow up, and it still didn't work for me. So now, fuck all women. You know, that's what it's giving me right now.
I find it very disgusting and borderline mental.
I think where he was trying to go.
Huh?
I get where he was trying to go with it, but it just wasn't confirmed.
Okay, so where was he trying to go? Because I'm confused.
He was basically trying to, well, I'm assuming where he was trying to go with it was that, like, every woman isn't a queen. And I have to, on some levels, I do believe that. But I feel like he was trying to say that, like, you know, you love me under conditions, which is, in some levels, I believe that too. I knew what he was trying to say, just didn't come off the right way. And then you gotta look at your aesthetics and shit in the background. You have a curtain stapled to your wall. You have something that's clearly your grandmother's couch. I mean, you know.
And you're comparing your partner to your mother.
For somebody, clearly you're mad because you don't have the money to come out of pocket for anybody. So that's what you're upset about. And I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say to you, but like I said, on some levels, I feel like I understand where you're coming at because not all women are queens. I believe that, and that some women do love men under certain conditions and under certain stipulations. I do agree with that. But for saying, but just saying all women, you a bad bitch, you single because you ain't no queen. I just feel like times have changed, and he hasn't got that yet. You did things about 5'4". He having a short man complex, and every short man I know that's under like 5'7" is very angry.
I also call it the Lord Farquaad syndrome. Hello, God.
It was the fact that he compared women to his mother. You don't love me unconditionally like because you're not my mother. So you want somebody to raise you
like him,
and baby you.
Their mama's boys exactly what they is on their mama's titty. You can't do nothing. There's nothing you can do for them.
But sir, if you're so great, then where's your woman? Where is your queen?
I have dated men. That like, when I tell you they can't make 2 more moves without their mama. Bitch, date her. I'm gone. Cause look, everything I'm doing, you comparing it to her. You need to fuck her. You don't need me. And
I'm gonna tell you what I think he was. It seemed like what he was trying to say was that there's only room for one bad bitch in the relationship, and that's him. It seemed like he was upset that a beautiful woman had the audacity to believe that she was the bad bitch in the relationship, honey. It seemed to me that he had an attitude and felt a way that a woman had the nerve to think that she was the beautiful one in the relationship, baby. So for me,
like, how dare she?
It was all the Tinkerbell energy for me. It was all the daddy to the princess energy that he was giving off to me, okay? So it looked like he was just screaming narcissism, and he just feels like he's God's gift to mankind. And if you're gonna be in a relationship with him, you're gonna stay in your humble, peasant ass, unattractive place and let him get his shine out. Okay? Because there's only room for one cute bitch. And there's
you know how niggas get. I know it's a lot of y'all on here, but y'all know how niggas get at the real light skin. That's that light skin thing. Y'all know how light skin niggas do.
You know what too though? I noticed that attitude when mostly, and I know this sucks, and it's probably the truth. Most guys who are raised in a single mother type of household, there's this resentment that they couldn't be something for her that the father should have been in some way. It's this twisted way of thinking. There's a lot of guys that are really close with their moms like that. Either they also mistreat women, and they also have this like father complex for their mother. Absolutely. In a lot of ways, it's kind of sometimes it's borderline unhealthy. For some, like Jody from
Baby Boy
child, hello God, honey. Like Jody and his mother with her fine ass, because that was a fine ass woman, and hello God. Okay. Strong fish. She was taking all.
Mama gotta have a life too. Please, Miss Juanita, tell me why he do the things he do.
My Jody.
Was that Vin Rhymes who carried her butt naked from room to room, laying that girthy chocolate wood down?
The African squat fuck.
Yes, ma'am. You know what she showed me? You can have a nice garden in your backyard in the hood. Hello, God. Because you know how they try to make the hood look dirty?
But not for long, because the kids in the neighborhood will steal your shit.
Especially if you playing weed back there, Jody.
It wasn't Jody.
Oh, it was Vin Rhymes. I forgot. Yeah, but she took that dick and she said, "That's okay, babe."
Yes, when your man do it.
Dick matized at its highest level, honey.
Okay.
I just walking into the punches and shit.
Yes. I do believe that this way of thinking for men needs to leave, because what's going to happen, and I think it's more in the insecurity levels are higher now because women are so independent. They are the forefront of Fortune 500 business, CEOs, entrepreneurship. They're innovators. And as we're seeing, as history is trying to remind us, and the things that we should have known back then, is that especially Black women, women of color, are the trendsetters and the creators of a lot of technology, a lot of different things. I think men now, they're seeing that, girl, women don't need us like they needed before the Industrial Revolution, bitch. We don't live in the 1940s, 1920s anymore, bitch. It's different. And I feel like if you want to be successful in any relationship, you need to change your way of thinking because you're going to miss out on your blessing, nigga.
Yeah.
If you're that inadequate, you're the type of niggas that need to go to therapy and truly talk to someone. Because a good woman is not gonna put up with none of that foolishness. You're gonna need to find a heavily broken woman, and I think that's what him and Kevin Samuels and all those niggas that think that way. That's what they look for.
Mm-hmm.
Women that can mold, women that can, make feel like they are God's gift of man child. They're the only ones that
need
them problems. That's very pimp mind frame.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And I don't like that.
And that's because I kind of forgot what I was gonna say.
Okay,
y'all. I gotta go. I get ready for my show, but I have fun.
Okay.
Good luck. I know you're gonna kill it.
Next week. What y'all say?
Okay.
I know you're gonna kill it. Good luck. Good luck.
Thank y'all. I'll give it y'all later.
Have fun. Be safe.
I will.
Be safe. Yes, God. Honey.
And then there was 3.
Okay.
Yes, honey.
I forgot what I was gonna say. To your point, it was a good one too. Oh, that's because black men do not want equality. They want power. So they're emulating white patriarchal power structure. And this is why we call the black men today the white men to the black community, because black men want power. They don't want equality. And the sad part about it is that black men are a byproduct of the sunken place that white supremacy created as well. So black men don't know who they are outside of roles, and they don't know who they are outside of perceivable power. And so the fact, to your point, YB, that power dynamics are shifting now because women realize that there are more ways to have legacy than through marriage and through children, like a business, like through their art, like through their talent, like through their contributions to society. So men are left in a position to endure ultimately what's an ego death or a identity crisis. And so black men are freaking the fuck out because they don't know, like, as women begin to take shift, whom the way that toxic masculinity accommodated black men is now washing away, and black men think that someone is attacking them, when really what's happening is that the system is recorrecting itself. Healing is actually taking place. Progression is taking place. Equality is taking place. And black men better jump on the bandwagon, or they're going to be left in that sunken place alone, while black women are off living their best life with Kyle and Billy and Rotor in them. And black men are going to be left jacking their dicks, broke as hell, mad at queer people for taking over the world, and it's going to be a hot, shitty ass mess. So I just want black men to just get the fuck over it. Like, actually endure the fearful journey of finding out who the fuck you all are. Like, challenge yourselves to address these social constructs and respectability politics that got you niggas suffering from PTSD and suicidal ideation 3 times the rate at this point, because you refuse to actually connect to your femininity, experience your emotions, express your emotions that can lead to healing your mental health issues. Stop allowing white patriarchal standards to, like, oppress you. Stop allowing other toxic black people to reinforce these toxic inner restraints. Like, you gotta free yourself from that shit, and you won't be able to listen to your community because your community is not going to support your liberation. You're gonna have to literally choose it, and if you have to emancipate yourself from a time being from the black community in order to heal, then do what you gotta do, because right now the theme is healing. The theme for the black community is healing. Black women trying to heal that shit, black queer men trying to heal that shit. Black men, jump on the bandwagon, baby. We can do it together.
These are also the type of men that dwell in the state of Texas who believe that they have the right to govern women's bodies. Not just Texas, but it seems like a lot of these political figures out here that are these masculine, sorry bastards who... I really don't even want to get into that too much, but I just wanted to bring these are the type of men who are making the laws for women in their bodies. So basically, I'm going to touch on this real quick. It's okay for you to get raped, girl, and now legally you have no choice but to give birth to that baby. And I want this to be known. I've said this on a couple of different platforms I've had the pleasure of being a part of. I've also said it multiple times on my own platform. And I'll say this again here. The abortion laws are not what you guys think. There was a conversation that was had several years ago amongst the political parties in Washington. These were leaked files. Hello, God. And in the leaked file, it stated that there was a conversation that in about 20 years, the data shows that because abortions are, people's right, at the time it was, the people that were getting the most abortions were white women. So they did the math. In 20 motherfucking years, people of color were going to be the majority. We were going to totally outrank white people in this country. That's what they were afraid of. And I found it funny that not long after that document was leaked, that's when Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, even now Texas, is going through what they're going through in terms of the abortion laws. Heavily restricted abortion laws. If a fucking Uber driver takes you to the appointment, they too can be sued. That's how strict these laws are becoming. So when we have these types of conversations, we also have to end it on the fact, be mindful of who the fuck you voting for, bitch.
And what you're
because
voting
you're giving untethered access to these sorry bitches who want to confine you, lock you up in your own metaphorical cage, girl. There's nothing you girls can do now. God forbid you're sexually assaulted. Now you have no choice, girl. Now we're going to see an uptake in unwanted pregnancy type of women falling from stairs, taking holistic vitamins and things to help them abort the children. Now you're going to have people probably killing themselves by mistake because they don't have access to the actual medical technology that would just make that easier and a lot more safer for them to do. Now you're going to have, like back in the days, I know a lot of times in the Spanish community, there was the mother in the neighborhood who was putting that motherfucking hanger up your pussy, bitch. Now we're going to have to go back to those days. These young girls who have unwanted pregnancies, who don't see it for the future, or a person who may get now technology is so more advanced, they can tell you what kind of disease or illness your child is going to have.
Can we please not fly by that? Somebody was putting hangers up people's vaginas.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the old way to do things back then. Yes. And a lot of these girls were dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called back alley surgery type shit. That's what even with the fix-a-flat.
Let me tell you something. If the government think that they're gonna stop girls from aborting children, they just gonna do that shit illegally, honey. Okay, so trust and believe. It's gonna be a lot of girls like me making arrangements with my peers, doing cheerleading practice to move out the way, bitch. When you throw me in the air, girl, just move out the way, baby. Okay, because we had girls in high school who were pregnant on the cheerleading squad who were aborting their children that way.
Yeah.
They would have their friend throw them up so they could fall on their stomach and make it look accidental.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Forced miscarriages by overdosing on certain types of drugs that are known to, suppress the fetus growth and all that shit.
So sad.
There's all kinds of different methods that the girls were using.
Girls used to have a beat my belly parties where you punch the belly, the pregnant belly, abort the child. I mean, it goes down.
Beat my belly parties. This is sad.
Yeah.
What have we come to as a culture?
Well, that's because America is moving into a communist socialist nation. So the truth is we always only had a illusion of democracy to begin with. But now the veil and the truth and the plan for America is really unfolding in this infamous New World Order, which is to make America a authoritarian system built upon a authoritarian government.
It sounds like they're trying to turn this into a dictatorship.
Which is ultimately, I'm just going to say that, a dictatorship. So they're writing the laws right from under us as we argue over Lil Nas X being pregnant and giving birth, and as we argue and have these stupid ass debacles in the world, like Bill Gates is buying up.
Oh, we're gonna get into that.
60% of the goddamn farmland in America. Yeah. I mean, the goalposts, the chess pieces are motherfucking moving. All right, they're moving.
They are. I want to move on to the next subject, and then we're going to get into Bill Gates' motherfucking But I'm not really too much up to date on the R. Kelly trial. I did want to kind of touch on him a little bit because it kind of like watching the surviving. I did not watch the second part. I did watch the whole first part. Being a fan of his music growing up and just paying attention to a little bit of what I've heard about this trial. And one of the things that struck me is that people are so shocked and surprised that a young man decided to come forward and speak his truth about his negative experience with R. Kelly. He explained to the courts that everything that these young women are saying that happened to them also happened with him. And it seems like there's an overwhelming amount of people that are just like, they don't believe it. And that struck a chord with me because I'm like, why can't all of these accusations exist in the same realm? Because if anything, I'm not surprised.
You want to know why? Because it's like, I'm sorry to cut you off. It's like, oh yeah, he can rape the girls, he can be a pedophile, but gay? No. Like that. It as long as we've been doing this and have been progressing in this culture, it's still taboo to be gay in America. Well, to be gay, period, because other cultures are killing you. So it's still taboo. I think that's what the problem is. And just imagine how this boy must feel to finally muster up the courage to tell his truth and not be believed. So now he's humiliated. You feel like I could have shut the fuck up. You know, I didn't have to say anything. It's sad.
It's extremely sad. And I just think that what that does is cause a child who may be going through this currently, that's paying attention to these things, right? God only knows what goes on in the darkness of someone's home.
Right.
So now they're paying attention to this situation. They're like, you know what? I just need to shut the fuck up. And there's nothing worse than someone closing their mouth to a truth that will indeed set them free. Because that pain, that trauma, we always talk about it, it travels with you throughout your entire life. And I hope, my prayer for this young man is that you stood in your truth. That, like Kat said, that's a lot of courage for a young black man to come forward and say these things happened to me. So thank you for speaking that truth, and I hope that you find solace in knowing that you're probably helping other people. You know what I mean? But I don't like the way the media and other people are talking about the situation. Like, oh, it's fine. Like we already talked about, it's okay if you're fucking and raping women and shit, molesting women, little girls and stuff. But as soon as a boy is brought up, it's like,
I'm gonna be honest. Just to be fair, people really gave even the young women in this case a hard time. Like, even though the same community that all witnessed R. Kelly with their own two eyes piss on a girl in his studio, allegedly, it's the same community that still need to be convinced that he was an actual predator and that he actually exploited and preyed upon these young women. This speaks to a deeper systemic issue within the Black community about how we unfortunately protect our molesters and rapists, that infamous uncle that touched so and so and so and so, and everybody knows, but yet still has to hug and sit across from on Christmas and Thanksgiving and act like it's all good. That same uncle or brother or father who notably did these obscene, inhumane things, and yet no charges were ever filed. The family normalizes it, doesn't want to talk about it, denies it, sweeps it under the rug. And I know a lot of this comes from slavery and Black people not even having a space for a long time to have a criminal justice system that serves them. So oftentimes we had to rationalize abuse and injustice because there was no way to hold anybody accountable, even our own people. So this practice is still very long and it's very deep, and we're not going to be able to properly deal and prosecute or figure out what to do with the R. Kellys until Black people fully acknowledge that this practice is insidious and that there now are provisions made for us to not accept this abuse. And while we still have issues with our criminal justice system, which is still racist, it still disproportionately sentences Black people, there's a lot of things wrong. But there are systems in place now, and we need to speak out, we need to speak up, and we need to realize that the loving thing to do is not to protect known violators.
Yeah.
But the loving thing to do is to actually be proactive and bringing justice to those who have been assaulted by that person. And so, yeah, that may be your favorite cousin. That may be your favorite uncle who needs to be your favorite in jail, who needs to be your favorite estranged from the goddamn family until he can make honest amends with those he's violated. It's one thing if you don't want to necessarily even get the law involved, but my issue with us as Black people is that we will sit around violators and in the least not even demand that they acknowledge and confess and make right what they did to whom they're sitting across from, to whom they're living in the same household with. And so,
and then we do to the victim what we're doing to this young man.
Yeah.
And it makes that family member not want to come around or, feel loved by the rest of the family. And that's crazy. And I think what we need to start doing is understanding this predatory behavior. A predator moves on power, not sexuality. So it's not really a sexual thing for him. Whoever he can make feel powerless sexually, he'll go for it. If it's a cat, he'll probably fuck it. It doesn't matter to him.
From what I watch on Criminal Minds and all these other criminal shows is that they get off on the actual, power part. Like you said, it's not even the physical sex. It's the thought of the power that turns them on. I think the greatest example of how much havoc these situations wreak in families and households is if we look at Greenleaf. I don't know if y'all had the pleasure of watching that, but that's the greatest example of, what those traumas and how they can unfold in your life. And these people were like, 50, 60 years old, still dealing with this trauma. So I say speak out whenever you have the courage to. You don't know, you could be saving the little child that you thought you lost all those years ago.
It's also the issue of people struggling to recognize this young man and his testimony as significant or as credible also has to do with the long time ignorance that runs, that if you can't see the homosexuality on a person, then it's not there. Because you have to be able to see homosexuality for it to be homosexuality. Just like there's a lot of people who still believe that you have to look like you have AIDS or look like that HIV/AIDS has a look. There are people who really believe that homosexuality and bisexuality have a look. And so people can't get past R. Kelly being this ladies' man and he's seemingly masculine and got this charm. What? He gay? He because not only is it about being queer, the guy's testimony had R. Kelly in the submissive position. R. Kelly was the one crawling on the damn floor like Catwoman toward the dick. R. Kelly was the one who was giving the oral fixation. What's even more interesting about that is that this ain't the first time we heard about R. Kelly being queer. His brother did an interview and alluded to R. Kelly also being bisexual. So get over it.
And first of all, too, I want to give a message to people because I said this when I reviewed that first part of this was like last year sometime, child, of the R. Kelly. A lot of these people that are coming forward and finally trying to tell the truth, you guys already knew what was happening. You admitted it in these interviews, more specifically the brother himself. But because you guys don't want to get a job at McDonald's or a regular 9-to-5 somewhere, because he's in the power position and he's paying you, you're willing to do what's necessary to shut the fuck up at the detriment of these children. So if you think that by confessing now is going to absolve you of your sins, no, bitch. You will roast in the pits right along with his sorry ass soul. Just to let you know. Now moving on. All right, so the next topic, we're getting into some global news, honey. Hello, God. I broke down here who really owns America. Come to find out, most, if not all, the land in America is foreign owned, with China being the main holder in American securities. Furthermore, to go with that, Bill Gates is now the sole owner, well, him and his wife. They own 19 states. He now controls our agriculture, which means our food production, and pretty much when you control the food, when you control the land, you control the food. Yeah, if you weren't already a powerful billionaire, a tech billionaire to begin with, you're even more powerful now. Okay. The problem I have with that is going back to the question, who really owns America? In my further research, come to find out, multiple countries own a lot of fucking land here. And isn't the old school rule, whoever owns the land is the true owner?
Holds the power.
So the dangerous implications of such power, it frightens me. If you ask me, white people from the beginning, the Pope told the girls in Europe years ago, the Catholic Church and the girls, span around the world, colonize, put down our flag, we own that bitch. So you came over here, you destroyed the indigenous peoples of this land, ripped them from their home, their everything, killed millions with your fucking disease, forced them, and that's what Thanksgiving's about, is forcing the girls. That's how they bended the knee. Hello, God. Shout out to Game of Thrones. Then to build and colonize this land, you sought out slaves, which is our ancestors. You went over there and terrorized Africa, stole our people, brought them over here, forced them to build your shit, stole all of our inventions, by the way. We all know that. And then we become free. We never get our 40 acres and a mule as promised. Fuck you, Abraham Lincoln. And on top of that, now we find out that multiple countries own, and one man too, as well, added on to that, own this land. A land that never fucking belonged to them to begin with.
Story of a colonizer's life.
The immense power. Do you know how many generations of power it has to had to come to pass in order to attain what they have attained now? How can we be considered land of the free when we don't even own anything over here? Foreigners own our very land. So when you buy your house, all of my people that are proud to buy homes, even if you bought the lot, do you really own the lot? It makes me wonder those things. Where do we come in when we were promised certain things when it came down to the Emancipation Proclamation and all that shit? We still don't have ownership to incur all the things that we've gone through and our ancestors have gone through in this country. But to find out that all of these people, especially the Chinese that we hate so much, right? you allow them. There has to be a bill of sale somewhere. So you're at war with all these countries for what reason? Because they want what's owed to them? Maybe if you would have never sold it to begin with, we wouldn't have these issues. I don't know. What thoughts?
We're fucked. Yeah, I never really kind of understood the whole concept or meaning behind selling land. Like, it's land. Like Asian land should belong to Asia. American land should belong to America. Just period. If we want to trade instruments and tools and things like that, then so be it. But land, and again, land that doesn't even belong to you. How are you selling something that's not even yours? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Well, they're selling the land because the truth is there's no such thing as Americans or Asians or Africans. We're watching one mind take up all of the space in the earth. We are under the illusion that we're all a part of separate parties. But the parties that govern us are all a part of one elite party. So the entire earth is a parking lot to them. It's an entire real estate to them. This is why 1% holds all of the goddamn power. What's interesting about Bill Gates is that it's not just that he owns that much real estate in America. It also has to do with what his ideologies are. He believes in depopulation. He believes in GMO food. Bill Gates being able to control the food supply, being able to sell, restrict selling, control selling, absolutely puts this man literally at the forefront of, like, there's nothing in between us and Bill Gates and food shortage in America, or altered hormone-induced foods being pushed as an alternative to this pretend lack of natural resources and this pretend of that. Bill Gates is literally the Thanos of the planet. He's the fucking Thanos. Him and Dr. Fauci. It's no surprise to me that the jab had so many severe side effects and even fatally killed individuals because Dr. Fauci, as our flaming row also let us be known, also produced that hideous radiation-induced AIDS medication that killed more people than the actual AIDS disease did. So when Kat says we're fucked, theoretically,
yeah.
And the global elite are taking control and seizing this world in ways that are going to reduce the population by default. If we, the people, not just black people, if we don't even, we're going to have to transcend even this black shit and have to really move past that on some we the humans shit.
Yeah.
And really grandstand against these corporations, getting control of our own spending, which funds the destruction of our planet, because we're funding capitalism. We're funding the global elite. We are addicted to everything that they provide to us. And so it's a very sad state of affairs. I personally am a component of the biblical prophecies. I do think for the most part, the elite are going to excel to an extent.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to wake up in a way that we need to. I don't think we're going to do what we need to do. I think it's going to get much worse before it gets better. And I think that by the time it gets better, there will be practically nothing fucking left by the time a breakthrough fucking comes. Now, technically, do we have an opportunity to shift the tides? Yeah. But I haven't seen, over the past 10 years alone, I have not seen anything in humanity that makes me hopeful that we're going to get our shit together. We seem to be, as Adele said, walking into the punches and shit.
Yeah.
They ain't swinging on us, girl. They ain't beating us. We just walking in to the punches. So I'm going to do my little microscopic part, my little microcosm parts. And that's it. I
want to add to your point about, it's going to be too late. Another thing I wanted to talk about, and it goes in tandem with all of that, is the control and all of these people having all this power, but they get the same reports, especially if you're diving into the world of agriculture as Bill Gates has. When you're dealing with agriculture, you also have to pay attention to climate change. And due to climate change, we're seeing in there, they put a list out of some things that are going extinct, things that are endangered of going extinct. And just to name a few things, chocolate. The cocoa bean needs to survive in a certain type of climate in order for it to prosper. So when you see chocolate, bananas are already presently on the verge of extinction. The bananas we eat now are actually genetically modified. They're not even the ones we're supposed. That Chiquita shit, that's not real. That's not a real banana. So we've already been. I eat those too, but I just want to let the girls know that's not a real banana. Certain plant life, and things that we need for herbal supplements, things that we derive our vitamins and our nutrients from. Even pharmaceutical companies need those natural elements, because although they don't put the percentage they claim to put in those pills and vitamins, they still utilize plant extracts, herbal extracts, in order to create some of these medications and vitamins that we take. Also, more importantly, not just foods and plant life that are going to be suffering because of these global warming changes. We also got to talk about the animals. Sharks, the great white specifically, there's not many of them left. Manatees, reptiles. Global warming is going to shift the tide on a level that is going to send a lot of things into mass extinction. Those are the conversations that I would hope people like Bill Gates, people that owned all this land and farmland and marine situation, people who are in the fishing industry, I would hope that they're paying attention. But because capitalism has reigned supreme for so long, I personally fear it's going to be too late, and there will not be any time to course correct. Because humanity is solely, not all of humanity, most of humanity is solely driven by personal interest that reaps them financial gain. But my thing to that is, what's the point of money? And I say this all the time when I have these kinds of discussions. What's the point of money if there's no one left to spend it? There's nowhere. Who's going to care when the sun has burned us to death? We're all in ash. We can change the tide. There's enough time to, but I just don't feel like that people that hold the power give a fuck. I don't think they care. People, I recognize, especially nowadays, people don't start changing or doing things until something happens to them. But when we're talking about the doomsday clock for Earth, this isn't one of those situations where we need to be that careful or that hesitant. We need to do this now. Food prices will inevitably go up, which is also going to turn the economy into a place where a lot of people are going to be suffering. There's going to be more poverty. People are going to be requesting wage increases because of these groceries going up, girl. These food products going up. People are going to be moving at mass levels. People don't like the heat. A lot of people in the southern regions, and they get a lot of heat, they're going to be trying to move to colder climates. So we're going to see mass movement of human populations, which also adds to destructions of communities, cities, states, all that shit. countries, we see what happens when those overflows happen. Then I talk about this in global warming, and I'm being a little long-winded, I apologize. That's not even it. So when the animals lose their migration patterns, because we've already determined that migration patterns are determined on climate, birds, reptiles, all of these places that migrate due to weather changes, don't be surprised, New York City, you already have rats the size of dogs. You're going to be getting visitors that you never got before. We're already seeing videos of bears showing up in where they shouldn't, sharks showing up where they shouldn't. Their migration patterns are all fucked. They don't know what to do, and it's because of us and our pollution. Then the ice caps will be melting, which we've already established. There are 1,000-year-old, million-year-old diseases that are lying dormant in those fucking old-ass ice caps. Once they start to melt and fall out, that's another mass extinction level event that will take place. So I implore the rich, the powerful, the owners of this world, heed that warning. All that money you're amassing, all that finance, that credit you're amassing, these stocks, these bonds, all this shit's not going to matter when there's no earth left, bitch.
But the problem with that, YB, is that's what they want.
Yeah.
Because the 1% are the only ones who actually have the resources and the means to remain alive, as everything goes to shit for everybody else and for the majority. Right. So this is where real extreme privilege comes into play at. These people are already trying to colonize Mars and the moon, and have the resources and the wealth to fund such research and colonization. They don't give a damn because they're rich enough to not have to give a fuck. These people have literally the world in the palm of their hand.
Yeah.
And what's also fascinating is that there was a little old prophet up out of Bethlehem about 2,500 years ago who said that man should not live off bread alone. What's interesting is that we've moved, especially in the West, and so many other parts of the world too, from a very pagan, spiritual worldview to a very strong binary and to a very strong left brain egotism. And what that essentially means is that we're out of fucking touch.
Yeah.
This is why pagan religions were so significant, because pagan religions reminded us that us and Mother Earth, who's a sentient being as well, who we are the children of, that we're all in a working relationship together. Capitalism divorces you from a relationship to the resources, from a relationship to nature and its elements. Mm-hmm. Divorcing this relationship completely puts us and Mother Earth at utter odds. Now we're in a toxic relationship to Mother Earth.
Yeah.
And who's going to win is Mother Earth, who is sending out Nunchuck 19 to get rid of the problem, who's sending out mass flooding in Europe to get rid of the problem, who's flooding out New York right now to get rid of the problem. Mm-hmm. Mother Earth is going to kill off whatever is the cancer. Right now, guess who the fuck the cancer is? Us.
Yeah.
So, us getting out of touch with our spiritual roots, us disrespecting and disregarding the earth, us not giving the earth an opportunity to heal, to restore itself, disrespecting boundaries out of greed and self-sustainability, in the end is going to hurt us. It already is. And this gets much darker. Yeah. This is just a very ugly preview to what can turn into the type of cataclysms and apocalypse that we see represented in fictional movies like 2012 or the movie The Core etc. So mass extinction is real.
Absolutely.
Global warming is perceivably real. Literally, the forefathers of wisdom prophesied it, that if we did not move according to the spiritual laws, that there will be forces that will pour out wrath upon the earth, that things will go terribly wrong for humanity. And we are already seeing a rise in crime. As YB just listed, so many communities, our whole ecosystem is completely off balance right now. Polar ice caps are melting.
Mm-hmm.
Polar bears are going extinct. Natural resources are being bulldozed over in place of corporations and businesses and cities and societies. What do we think we're going to live on when we've done all of that? And who is it going to be for? Because what we're really doing is creating an almost irreversible issue, and then and then allowing our kids to inherit what we could have altered for them.
Yeah.
So we're in opposition against Earth, and this is extremely unloving as it relates to the generations to come who don't deserve this from us. They don't deserve this. And we're creating headaches and issues that are going to be beyond their power to control if we don't get our shit together. And we're giving these headaches and these issues and this fear and this destruction to our children. We're giving it to them. They won't even have the luxury. Do you know that I was reading a study just a year ago that said that childhood is going extinct? Childhood. That there's almost no such thing now as childhood. Kids are plugged to their phones and plugged to technology. The luxury, we are the last generation of having a childhood.
Yeah.
That's why these kids are more grown today than they ever have been.
I was a whole foster kid, raised in and out, and I still had somewhat of a childhood. Like the experiences that you go through, the different growing pains that you go through, just the enjoyment of having fun playing outside, you know, having a real social group and not a social media group. You feel what I'm saying? Like just really just like getting your hands there, going to the sandbox, bitch, going to the park, you know, hanging out. We used to get together on the weekends and go to the movies and go out to eat, you know, and just do things as a group and have fun. Nowadays, child, these kids, they're grown as hell. They're being exposed to things a little bit too early. I think that has to do with kids having kids as well, because we're also part of that generation where you had a lot of people our age who had kids when they were 15, 16. Now they're being raised with their children. So they don't look at anything wrong in exploiting them to different things, like exposing them to different things like that. So there are other issues that encompass that, of course, but I just find it also fucked that it just made me think, like, we're not breeding. I don't know what data report I was watching a few months ago when it said that we're not breeding enough scientists. We're not breeding enough doctors. These are the people that we're going to need when these extinction level events take place. So they don't even have the tools to save themselves because people aren't finding interest in those studies anymore.
Man, the system is so full of shit. This system doesn't even want so-called doctors and scientists. Because what they mean by doctors and scientists is we need more people willing to be controlled by the nefarious Luciferian medical and scientific community that currently exists. This is why they're asking for doctors rather than holistic therapists and doctors. This is why they're asking for scientists rather than metaphysicians. All they want, and guess what? When you are in the holistic realm, your ass get ran out of America like Dr. Sebi, who proved to the Supreme Courts in the 90s that he actually cured AIDS, HIV, and cancer. They literally put a hit out on this man's head. This man had to fly back to Honduras because the American government wanted to lock him up as a result of him being able to utilize and prove that he utilized the elements of nature to cure up what America's medical community says requires millions of dollars of more funding for the research, and they had this man haul ass out of the country because you know why? Scientists and medical doctors cannot patent nature.
Yeah, that's true.
They can't patent it.
You know what? 2 things to that. I also heard that's why Left Eye was killed, because she was under his tutelage while she was on that vacation, and apparently she had learned a lot from him, and she was trying to bring that back to the Americas. On top of that, I want the world to understand, while we're sitting around destroying it, if we want to get biblical, the Garden of Eden, they had everything they need to sustain them, including natural medicine. Because they're human, right? So they can get sick. So the earth provides all that we need. So wherever there is a poison, there is an antidote to that poison. So by us killing off and climate change wreaking its head, those herbs that we need to help us cure that holistic vibe that we're talking about right now, that's not going to be an option anymore. And for all we know, maybe that's the reason they don't care about global. Maybe they want that to happen, so the girls can't be cured and the pharmaceutical companies can continue to reign supreme.
Well, that's because, what a lot of people don't know is that most of America's economy comes from the medical community. If we were to cure up HIV, AIDS, sickle cell, diabetes, obesity, America's economy would literally go into the sunken place, and the greatest depression of the country would ensue. So, of course, America is completely invested in perpetuating the lie that we cannot cure diseases, we can only treat them, because treating them and putting a Band-Aid on them sustains that money fucking cycle that keeps this little country alive and well, and with its goddamn lights cut on. The system is fraudulent. The entire system, and not just America's system, the whole fucking global system is fucking corrupted. So I just don't know what else to tell people other than people just need to wake the fuck up. People need to choose a hill to die on. People need to realize that a lot of sacrifices need to be made in order to save this fucking world and to save ourselves. And being really action-oriented is what it's going to take. And you know what? I'm going to say this too while I'm at it, before I shut the fuck up. The context of the insurrection that happened at the top of the year was absolutely insane and ridiculous. But I would be lying if I said I wish that the righteous were not as passionate as those idiots. Because that's the level of passion the righteous is going to need. That's the level of rebellion. That's the level of fearlessness. That's the level of I won't go that's going to be required to stop Hell's army. Being nice and reasonable with this system, talking about these things, it's going to come down to what the fuck are we going to do about these things? What are we going to do? Yeah. But, I feel like the reason why nothing's going to change is because as long as people get to benefit and have comfortability and luxury right now, because it's not a immediate issue that stresses the right now lives of Americans, motherfuckers just gonna feel like, hey, that's somebody else's problem, because right now it's not the problem for us. And so as long as people get to go about their everyday little lives and have this illusion that the rubber not gonna meet the motherfucking road, we're gonna be right here walking toward our demise, funding our own demise, and participating in our own demise. So I believe that it's a lot of things I don't fuck with in the Bible, but baby, when it comes to them prophecies around the way the end is gonna go down, even with this whole jab shit and mandating this shit, all this shit is training and breeding ground for them to really exercise that mark of the beast shit. This is for them to just see the way that we react to being forced to take a mark so that we can buy and sell and go into the gym. Look at what's happening in New York right now. You can't even go into a gym, a restaurant. You can't go into any business building without a vaccination card. A vaccination card. looking at the parallels of the mark of the beast biblically and the whole jab situation, is like these motherfuckers are really trying to butter us up and indoctrinate us and really have us with the shits. Right now, technologists are working on chips. They're already experimenting with chip implants over in Europe, putting them in at least 1,000 people and seeing if the body rejects the chip, the ins and outs of the chip, because the chip gives you luxury. You now don't have to worry about having a physical key. You just wave your wrist in front of your apartment and boom, or you can just open the door to your car with your wrist. They're going to paint it as all this technology and advancement is for your luxury and comfortability.
And speaking of that, that actually ties into the last topic, which I titled Bizarre News. And come to find out, it's not really all of that new. Scientists have been practicing for a very long time with immortality.
I love how you literally is determined to press. You made sure we got all these topics in tonight, baby.
I wanted to get it out.
You loaded it up, honey.
I wanted to get it out. I put in the chat. I know I put an LOL. I said this may end up being a 2-hour show.
May.
I love it.
We're 4 minutes before that time, but we'll get through it. It's the last topic, I promise. So, in bizarre news, scientists have been trying to come up with a way to initiate immortality through the transferring of consciousness. And the fact that you brought up the chip is funny because that was one of the ways they were thinking about doing this. So, the idea behind the transference of consciousness is that they would like to map out your brain and simulate what your brain is to artificial intelligence, putting it into like a chip basic, like a downloadable program. So because they think, they say the body's just a vessel, everything is in here. So they want to take what's in here, make a copy of it, and that's how you basically be able to live forever. Now, we know that China and Japan, Korea, all of those scientists are working on, they have some viable, successful robots already that look like us. They feel like us. They're made out of, they grew their own flesh in a lab, for crying out loud. And basically,
all these people are disappearing and going missing.
You never know. For all we know, they're doing some things. But that's basically how they're trying to live forever. Obviously, this will be a rich conversation for only the rich can provide this. Like Conscious said about luxury, there will be a luxury in knowing that you will never die. But the caveat to that is, and the reason why this program is still unsuccessful to this day, is because they have a hard time getting to the places of memory, dreams, certain judgment skills that come from certain parts of the brain that they don't have access to. They can't get to. They even discovered doing this research on brains that there is a higher consciousness there. There is something to prove that you go somewhere after you leave this earth. That's another conversation, but these are just some of the things they were able to find out by doing some of this research. So they can't mimic those things. Those things are not accessible to them to transfer over with the rest of the consciousness. Those are the things I want people to realize that make us unique. This is why in some way we have no choice but to believe in either God or the aliens or both. Because we're too complex to just have been, primordial ooze type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give my argument. I don't like the idea because we're born, we live, we die. That's how it's always been. That's how it should be. Now, Cat is giving me the fucking look because he knows.
He's giving you the Mariah Carey, honey.
I know. I'm about to say it again. I'm about to get two sides of that coin. I would love to live forever and ever and ever. It's more now, but not in that way. I'm more of a Lestat vampire type of vibe, bite me, girl, let me live forever. But downloading my consciousness, and there's no guarantee that I will be myself into robots and shit. I love my dick. Hello, God. I enjoy sensual pleasures. You can't do that when you're in a robotic body. On top of that, the fact that you may not even be able to bring everything over. So I'll be down for
it. Like you're talking about is that they're making progress in some way in trying to, first of all, suspend consciousness and then direct it toward a vessel. But the issue
the thing about the suspension, they also found they can't do it if the brain is not continuously active.
So to that point, what they can't seem to replicate is the soul.
Life.
Pretty much, yeah.
The actual soul, because the soul is the intermediary between consciousness and the brain.
Yep.
There's actual awareness, and then there's the hardware, which is the brain. Mm-hmm. But you need the soul to exist as a buffer between these spaces. This is where we get our personality from. It's from our soul. Mm-hmm. The consciousness is universal. Mm-hmm. But the soul is what makes us, is what makes YB, cat, CTV. So they can't figure out God's science and how the fuck God did this. But I'm not surprised that we're even experimenting with this shit, because man is made in the image of God, and God is a creator. Mm. So man is being God and playing God in that sense, because that's a part of our own nature. Is we have a divine nature as well. We have a creative nature as well. And so as above, so it is below. But the issue I have with immortality and all of this shit is that we're working from the outside in to achieve immortality. The immortality of Eden and Adam and Eve and these mythologies is that life was sustained from an understanding that life was pure love. Mm. Sustaining the purity of love in this vessel sustained the vessel, because all that is prime and vital and healthy is from this energetic source called love.
Because what would be the point of living forever if the social issues haven't changed? You've lived 1,000 years just to still deal with racism, wars, famine, people arguing over religion and politics.
And that's that's the issue of YB, because we're trying to achieve longevity, as like you just said it, not through the act of repentance and getting back to the immortal mind, but we're trying to find immortal technology to sustain. We're working from our egos. Therefore, all the social issues are going to continue to exist. All of the debauchery and ignorances of society, all of the wars that happen, all that shit will be sustained. And if that's what we're sustaining, who the hell needs to live forever? Yeah. Because I don't want to have a forever issue. I don't want to have forever problems. Ooh. I don't want to have forever poverty. I don't want to have forever capitalism. I don't want to have forever war, forever violence, forever homophobia, forever racism. So you can beam me up, Scotty. Take me out of this bitch at a good 59. I'm good. I'm good on the Earth experiment. Secondly, I think that, honestly, the elite is attracted to immortality because what they're trying to do, whether it's through transhumanism, whether it's through cryogenic freezing, whether it's through all these various ways, they're trying to avoid judgment from a righteous creator. They're trying to avoid God all out. If you can stay alive forever, you can avoid God. You can avoid that, what encounter would be inevitable if you allow nature to take its natural course.
In addition to that, too, I feel like a lot of these elitist bitches, they have that Egyptian complex. Bury me with all my things. Because you know, they don't want to leave their things. They think they can take it with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's horrible when you think about it. They got used to this. They don't want to let it go.
And
Sorry,
at this
girl.
point, it's not that they want to not live without it. They ain't leaving the real estate at all. Fuck bringing it with me. It ain't. We gonna avoid not having to go altogether.
Yeah.
Mama gonna stay home right here.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
Until the dew drop. So any healthy person is okay and has accepted death. Because you know what's so funny also? This is to my last point. We are making a very arrogant assumption that consciousness is simply about a human experience. To literally sustain human life is to really pigeonhole whatever evolution consciousness is on, which seems to me to be an infinite spectrum. Your consciousness is meant, just like a caterpillar, to transform and transmutate. Whatever happens after this is death happens to open a door for another transformative fucking experience.
Yes.
So we're literally prolonging, moving further into other incarnations and to other experiences that are encrypted and encoded within our consciousness. And we're literally putting a pause to that shit by wanting to simply exist in a human body on a so-called planet. And I don't think that's going to do anything for the evolution of consciousness or humanity.
I think it takes away the joy of life. Life is about appreciating the time you have while you have it. So if we had an infinite amount of time, we wouldn't appreciate or, you know, make the most out of moments. And I think also this is just modern day Babylon.
Amen.
You know, back in biblical days, they tried to build a tower to the heavens to try to, you know, see what was up there. This is just another way of doing that.
And God had to backslap the fuck out them hoes.
Yeah.
And you know what? If we look at even certain ancient civilizations, it's been recorded that they were building these temples because, well, if we believe they actually built them, they didn't have alien interference, but that's another conversation. That they were building these high places. Even Alexander the Great had the Lighthouse of Alexandria in different places around the world that are trying to get up there. And all of a sudden, if you notice that they never made it, actually the Mayans and Aztecs vanished, bitch. There's no trace of those girls. It just makes you wonder, like, the more you try to step and play God, even with cloning, they talked about how publicly they haven't been successful. Privately, I do think they've made strides, but if we
that little sheep,
it died. It didn't even last like a year or two. It died.
Sure.
So, you know, but like I said, on the front end, they claim they haven't made any success, but I do believe there may be some success there. But it seems as if the closer we get to the God complex, that's when we're brought down a peg. So maybe global warming, climate change may be that fire shot. Girl, y'all doing some nefarious on human type shit. Y'all gonna need to stop. And that's
Jesus said the end of days will be like that of the days of Noah. In the days of Noah, the Nephilim were perverting nature, cloning, gene splicing, perversing natural elements, reversing them, doing very bizarre and unethical, abominable things with the laws of nature. Jesus said the end of days will be like the days of Noah. And something that you also said about, damn, it was something you said that jarred a thought. I don't know what it is, but maybe it'll come back to me. You were saying something.
You know, I talk a lot of shit.
No, it was good too, guys. It'll come back to me, I guess. But yeah.
Okay.
Personally, I'm okay with dying. I'm not afraid of death. Obviously, there was nothing to be afraid of on my way here, so I have no reason to believe that there's anything to fear on my way to wherever the hell else I'm going next. I don't believe that we're meant to be humans and that we're just human. I believe that this is just another experience, consciousness desired. And God knows how many creative outlets consciousness has. In this dimension in reality, it wanted to be human. Consciousness is going to take form and create another experience beyond this body. So
And like I said,
in that experience.
And like I said too, there's.
I know what I was going to say. YB. To Kat's point, the current Tower of Babel is real and it's technological. It's called the Hydra Collider. Anybody who don't know what the fuck that is, at some point, Google the Hydra Collider. It is that high-power, energetic tunnel that 60 of the world's greatest scientists built that has protons smashing into each other at hyper speeds to create a split in the fabric of time, because scientists are trying to explore parallel and alternate dimensions, and they're having some very diabolical manifestations. They're seeing ghastly images after these protons and neurons smash into each other of what looks to us to be demonic, diabolical silhouettes in the aftermath of these explosions. And there's a YouTube video. You know, look up Hydra Collider. Everybody, the Hydra Collider is the new age version of the literal Tower of Babel. And now I'm starting to believe that even the tower that the Bible talks about wasn't even like a literal brick building. I believe that whatever that was some type of a metaphysical, technological device of some kind that was being used as a vortex to penetrate the ethers. Hey, classy. But deep shit. This conversation took in it. Like the pendulum swung from one extreme to the next in this whole conversation. We went from tired ass flaming row to the end of days. That's some deep shit.
That was my point. That was my point for this discussion. I wanted it to be a lot of everything. And I wanted to be really informative about these things because I don't think the everyday person thinks about these things. I'm a little off-putting in what I like to dabble in. Even Kat gets at me for some of the shows that I watch. So, my mind plays in many areas and I'm interested in a lot of things. And I just thought I wanted to bring it to the round table and get everybody's perspective on it and bring it to the chat too to see, what they think. Probably someone's thinking new now. So you never know.
I believe that technology is doing a lot of damage because maybe the truth is we were meant to remain an indigenous people. We were meant to live like Amish folk and live off the earth, live natural lives, commune.
Well, I mean, this goes to my discussion about the interference of alien extraterrestrials in the human experience. Is we, based on the documentaries and just my own logic by putting the math together, there was a time period of intellectual intervention that manifested very quickly in the human growth experience. You can't go from a caveman and then overnight you have sophisticated human beings who can think intellectually and grow their minds to the point to where we're creating civilizations, technology, different thoughts. There's a missing link there, which again also proves Charles Darwin's evolution theory wrong. Because where is the explanation for that gap. And if we want to go biblical, we can even toss out the existence of Adam and Eve, because that's supposed to be the first man and woman, correct? They were built in the image of intelligence. They weren't hairy beasts. They're not depicted as hairy beasts, me Tarzan, you Jane type of shit. They weren't presented to us like that. But we see in our archaeological anthropology finds that the first human were indeed found in Africa. They date back even longer than the existence of the Bible or any known man at all.
14 million years old.
Yes. So there's a lot to pick there. Again, that's another discussion. But I just want to put that on people's minds that there's something that happened that's unexplainable to why we have the intelligence. I think we are meant to have the intelligence, but I don't think it was ever, the people that gave it to us, whoever gave it to us, didn't think that we would do the evil deeds that we have done with it.
Or maybe they did, and that was the plan. Because
that's where we bring in the rule of free will. Maybe that is one of the rules behind it.
A lot about mythology.
What will we do with that free will? Are we going to do the negative thing, the bad thing, or are we going to strive for progress and prosperity and peace and positivity? Maybe that is our grand test as the human experience. So when we do leave this world, it may not be a literal heaven or hell. It's just, okay, we're going to place you here because you treated your human existence with raggedy bitch behavior. You know what I mean? And the people that actually experienced life and took it in and were compassionate and kind and lived well and treated others with respect and love, those are the people that will be placed in a place of, goodness and grace.
But what? I feel like I don't believe in the literal mythologies. Like I don't believe in the literal depictions, but I do believe in the overall thing. Like something happened. Like when Adam and Eve was in the garden, I don't believe in a literal Adam and Eve. I don't believe in a literal garden either. But just in terms of like what the story is trying to convey, is that we did something very immature as a species.
Right.
I don't feel we ever redeemed our consciousness, but yet knowledge beyond us kept being inserted into the equation. Because after the serpent offered a knowledge that Adam and Eve were not mature enough to handle, they were expelled from the garden. From there, we never redeemed our consciousness. And then what happened again in the biblical stories is that there were beings called the Watchers who descended upon the earth and then taught man wars and charms and spells and incantations. If you read the apocryphal text of Enoch talks about what accelerated man's consciousness was that intervention between us and those extraterrestrial, or depending on your school of thought, interdimensional entities. But what I take away from it is that something kept trying to give us something we couldn't handle. And so it's no wonder that our world is all fucked up, because we literally have access to knowledge that we're abusing. We have the capacity for creativity. Like what so Jeff said, we've done a lot of good with it too. So that's a part of the problem, is that the same consciousness that can give birth to planes that can drop off food to other countries who are starving, it's the same consciousness though that can construct the atomic bomb and the nuclear missile. And so we keep making one step forward, 20 steps back.
It's a cycle.
It's because we're immature as hell. And so I don't know whether the things that interjected, that tried to accelerate humans, were they knew that we were stupid and they knew that we weren't ready for that, and the plan was to watch us self-implode, or if it was an innocent intervention and just by default of where we are now consciousness, we just keep blowing it. But until man stops trying to make technology and get his heart and his mind back right and really get back to salvation, everything that we're going to create is going to do us more harm than good. Yeah, then good. Now we're done. Close out the show. Wrap it up. Cat is ready for the bed, child. Shut this shit down.
I am literally numb from the waist down. That's why I keep trying to get up to walk.
Child, how do you think I feel? I did a whole hour and a half live right before this one. My feet, I can't even feel my fucking knees, bitch. Ooh, but
you numb, girl.
I do.
My people free. YB, shut this shit down.
I love everyone. I appreciate everyone's participation. Again, shout out to Tremel and Carl. They're doing their thing.
Tremel, you drunk ass. You're fired, bitch. I don't want to see you next Sunday with your drunk, horny ass. Don't want to see you.
I do appreciate you, Kat and Conscious, for sitting with me this long. I did want to get through these topics, so I'm glad we were able to accomplish that. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you guys. And as with tradition, I'm going to give my quote. I actually have two because they're meaningful to what we were talking about today. So the first quote is from Lu Zhao. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Yes, God.
Amen.
This other one is from Helen Keller. She says, well, I think it's a guy, but whatever, bitch.
Helen Keller was deaf, dumb, and blind. So how did she say anything?
I don't know, child. I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's true. We could never learn to be brave and patient if there were only joy in the world. Amen.
I like that.
Amen. That was profound.
I love that.
All right, y'all. Continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Support the panel. We're all content creators. All of the information is in the description box. And thank you so much for tuning in for episode 6 of season 3, the Yasss God Roundtable. We'll be back here tomorrow. And in the words of the cat's meow.
Oh yes. First, y'all can get my album. I was listening to it today, and it's amazing. So I just listened to Enigma. And you, bitch, I just wanted to give you your flowers on camera. Like, I'm so proud of what you've been doing with the tarot and the strides you've been making. Just keep at it. Stay consistent. It's going to pay off. You definitely contribute something positive to our community, and we need it. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. I want to say this too while I'm live real quick, because I know I posted on Instagram earlier, but I want this to be official on YouTube as well. I stand by every fucking thing I said earlier today. Bitch, stop with these delusions of grandeur. A lot of these girls in the web series industry, girl, and I don't even know if we can refer to them to all the industry when the platforms aren't even getting through their season 1s, honey. Stop calling people stars. Stop putting these girls on these fake ass pedestals, especially when they haven't put the work in. Periana to the Perrier in the words of the official King Pain Girl. And we are done. Be blessed and never stress, everyone. And we'll see you back here next week. Same place, same time.
Same time.
That's really what I Yes, God. Bye, y'all.